All right. Tuesday, February 27th. It is around 5:44. So the men play in 16 minutes or an hour and 16 minutes, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, not sure. But I'll be tuned in. Interviewing Olivia Sumil here in a little bit, which I'm really looking forward to. One of the seniors that were honored on Sunday. Great person, great personality, great family. Really, really solid player and has made a huge difference for this team this year. But I wanted to take a second. I didn't want to spend the entire time talking about the festivities, so I wanted to take some time to talk about it here. College Game Day came to town at Virginia Tech this past Sunday. Number 5 Virginia Tech was taking on UNC. UNC team, really good, really, really talented team who Tech has beaten 6 times in a row now after this past Sunday. And College Game Day's here. The senior nights for Georgia Amore, Kayla King, Liz Kitley, Olivia Sumil. It was incredible. So I just wanted to kind of paint the picture of kind of how this day unfolded. First and foremost, Virginia Tech becomes one of a very few schools who have had College Game Day in town for men's basketball, football, and now women's basketball. Really, really cool. I'm sure a lot of Tech grads are getting this. It's interesting being from New Jersey, but I'm getting text messages from people I went to high school with, grade school, former coworkers from all over the country about this. Are you seeing Virginia Tech on ESPN? Yo, your women's basketball team, have you seen the footage? I'm there. It's awesome. Yeah, it's sick. Our fan base is awesome. Our women's basketball team is fantastic. To give you an idea of how this day unfolds, College Game Day starts in Cassell 3-4 hours before tip-off. Half the stadium is full, loud, engaged, paying attention, and ESPN did a great job. They're interacting with the crowd. They brought out Liz. They brought out Georgia. They brought out Coach Brooks. And even when they're not talking about Virginia Tech, the fans are booing any team they talk about. They're talking about Iowa, they're booing. South Carolina, they're booing. North Carolina, they're booing. Everybody. But in terms of just scale and how much, I always compare it to the Beatles of how much this team has kind of captured this fan base. They have everybody leave the stadium. Interesting decision-making, but everybody has to leave the stadium and go outside. So I'm watching from the Student Athlete Performance Center, and folks are walking. So the line basically went from the front door of Cassell Coliseum all the way to the stadium outside of Lane by the practice fields. Unbelievable infomercial and moment for Virginia Tech in general. It has been so cool to watch Virginia Tech be at the epicenter of women's basketball when women's basketball, let's just be honest, in the last 3 to 5 years has been having an unbelievable rise, meteoric rise nationally. You are not just getting people who like a player on the team or will support all of their teams. Women's basketball is a brand that is healthy and thriving right now at the collegiate level. It's amazing to be right at the forefront of it. So Virginia Tech wins the game 74-62. We're going to get into the nitty gritty here on the game with Olivia. But in terms of the festivities, a couple things that I walked away with from the senior walkouts. Every player, every parent, every friend, every sibling genuinely has a relationship and connection with Coach Brooks. You can see it in the photos, in the videos. You can feel it when they are on the presser table after games. Not only is it impressive what Coach Brooks has done in terms of winning basketball games, but the relationships that he has built with these players that are there now and that have left. If you go ahead and you ask Reagan McGarity, if you ask Sammy Hill, Vanessa Panousis, any of those players how they feel about Coach Brooks, it's the same. It doesn't drop off. When he talks about a family mentality and a culture of family and caring about one another with winning on top of it, he has personified that. He has done that. Every time we've interviewed him in some way, shape, or form, he alludes to that, and you could see it with every single player. Extremely awesome for every single player that comes out. Raven Kitley, she had her own moment. If you weren't watching, if you weren't there, you probably didn't see it. But she gets a framed photo of the entire team, signed by the entire team, takes the photos with everybody. The way that Hokie Nation has embraced these players and their families has been so, so cool. I mean, every time I'm walking in the concourse, Raven Kitley is signing autographs, which is pretty damn cool. Absolutely love that. And let's talk about just some of these seniors and some of the performances. Liz Kitley, I want to shout out Brooke Leonard for pointing this out. Liz Kitley's first home ACC game was January 5th, 2020 against UNC. She played in front of 1,939 fans. Senior night against UNC, Virginia Tech wins the game in front of 8,925 fans with College Game Day in the building, and literally hundreds of people sticking around for an hour plus after the game for an opportunity to take a picture, an opportunity to sign an autograph. Unbelievable. Her contributions to Virginia Tech on the court and off the court cannot be emphasized enough. In terms of my athletics, playing the sport here, Mount Rushmore, Liz Kitley is on it. Her ability to consistently be so effective every single night when she is the focus of the defense every single night is unbelievable. UNC is not new to Liz Kitley going off against their team. This was their 6th win over UNC here. Liz Kitley with a pedestrian 34 points on 11 of 17 shooting, 6 rebounds, and 12 of 14 from the free throw line. I love that family so much, and they are incredible, incredible ambassadors for this program. And we're going to look back at the success that we're having now and the success that it looks like we're going to have in the future. And the shoulders of Elizabeth Kitley have propelled and made a lot of this happen. And she is a truly, truly generational player and generational person. So Liz Kitley absolutely dominated the game. Georgia Amore, aside from her game, we'll talk about the game first. She had 2 fouls in the first half when she had to sit a good bit. But there were multiple stretches in this basketball game. Ed Williams alluded to this. He said, the only other time that I have felt like this in this stadium was when Justin Robinson broke the assists record against Syracuse. And her ability to capture moments of games. I'm going to read you just basically what happened in 4 possessions in a row for Virginia Tech. It's the 7:41 mark in the fourth quarter to the 5-minute and 43 mark in the fourth quarter. 4 possessions. Kitley jumper, assisted by Georgia Amore. Matilda Eck 3, assisted by Georgia Amore. Three-pointer by Georgia Amore. Clara Strack layup, assisted by Georgia Amore. She has stretches like this 3 or 4 times throughout games where she completely takes over and just picks apart her opponent. A ton of fun to watch. We tweeted out the picture today. You got Ed Williams has his hand on his head. I just have my jaws touching the floor. It's some of the best basketball I've ever seen in the building. And she does something like that every single game. But I want to talk about this week and quite frankly, this like month-ish for her. Let's do a little bit of a role reversal here. So let's say that you leave your family in America to go to New Zealand to play rugby. Rugby in New Zealand is no joke, by the way. Or let's say that you maybe move from Austin, Texas to go to Pakistan to play cricket. Imagine trying to explain to your former high school friends, your parents trying to explain to their friends at church or at pottery class, how much of a moment is being had if you are at the top of the game in that country. That's what's happening with Georgia Amore right now. And she was able to have her entire family out here, her sister, grandparents, parents, friends. She probably had a group of 12 to 15 people that are out here. And I just thought it was so special for them to be able to come out here and see with their own eyes what kind of moment is going on here. Truly, truly special, truly, truly emotional. I don't know how to, I obviously can't relate to this. I think my only example here was I'm a big, if you have a podcast, you have something that you're trying to promote. Here's a little tip for you. Join Facebook groups and Reddit threads that are associated with the niche that you're in and try to promote it there. So that's what I did. I was literally crazy Bill here. I was joining some of these like Reddit groups, like youth basketball, Ballarat, Australia community feed. And I'd be posting this. And some of the comments will be like, oh my gosh, Georgia Amore, everybody talks about how big she is, but I've never seen it like this. And it's so funny to try to put yourself in that position where you completely leave where you come from and you are at the absolute pinnacle of whatever you came over here to do. And I'm so glad that her family had the opportunity to see that. Kayla King, defensively, was completely on another level in this basketball game. You won't see it on the stat sheet, and she does this quite often, which is why if she just keeps shooting, because they're going to start to fall, and it's going to make a huge difference for this basketball team. But she's finding ways to affect the game that a lot of other players may just get frustrated and not be looking for. She must have had 10 deflections in the first half of this basketball game. Ton of fun to watch. Had a tough draw, some tough defensive assignments. But in that time where Georgia had to leave the game and you're basically relying on, all right, let's string some good offensive possessions back to back here, and let's play some good defense. Kayla King was one of the biggest reasons that we were able to do that. And I want to reiterate, Kelly Gramlich said this the whole time. UNC is no slouch. UNC is a damn good basketball team. So incredible job by her, and her contributions to Virginia Tech over this tenure have been unbelievable. Doesn't talk a ton, isn't really concerned with the fanfare. None of them really are. But I said this previously, a lot of folks would get upset or a lot of folks would get jealous. And I think she has embraced her role and she has embraced what she does and what she brings to this team. And Virginia Tech has embraced her right back. And it has been awesome to watch how she continuously uplifts this team and leads this team. And lastly, I want to say Olivia Sumil. Going to talk to her in a little bit. She had 14 rebounds in 22 minutes. Let me just say that again. She had 14 rebounds in 22 minutes. Another completely unselfish player. She has an ability to stretch the floor, and the love for her teammates and the game and her coaching staff is absolutely unreal. So I can't say enough things about these four. It is such a joy to watch them do their thing and watch them just kind of capture the hearts and minds of not just people at Virginia Tech, but all across the country. Absolutely awesome. If you walked around the stadium, you would have seen Raven Kitley signing autographs, but you also would have seen somebody wearing some sort of apparel. Queens of Cassell, Georgia Amore, Liz Kitley, Kayla King. It is more than just a basketball game. It's like a concert. Literally feels like a concert when you go to these. I've never seen anything like it. Virginia Tech wraps up the season on the road at Notre Dame and at UVA. We're going to be doing a ticket giveaway for the UVA game. We're going to have about 10 tickets that we're giving away. So if anybody is interested, keep an eye out for that. The Hokies have clinched a 1 seed in the ACC tournament and are currently slated as a 2 seed in the Albany, Ohio State region right now. Now, if they went out, I don't really see a world that they aren't going to attain a 1 seed. But, who cares? Just keep winning basketball games. I want to end on this. What Virginia Tech is doing right now, what's happening at Virginia Tech is unprecedented, at least in our world at my age. If you look back at 2014, Virginia Tech was 1-15 in conference play. They were Wake Forest in conference play 10 years ago. Coach Brooks has won 20 games every year since he has been hired here, minus the virus. Hashtag minus the virus. He's won 20 games every single year. We have 2 generational talents in Liz Kitley and Georgia Amore. Extremely outgoing, a fan group that is locked in on them nationally. This is not a Virginia Tech movement. This is an entire country movement. And lastly, it's just the people. The parents, the staffs, the fans, everybody pulling in the same direction. Truly a special day. If you have the opportunity to go see this group, whether it be in South Bend, whether it be in Charlottesville, whether it be hopefully at Cassell Coliseum and the tournament or one of those tournament games or Greensboro, I strongly encourage you to do so. These are one of those moments that we'll be talking about for decades and decades and decades. And it has been so cool to watch. So that's all I have. I just wanted to get 15 minutes in talking about it. Really looking forward to talking to Olivia. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's going to be an awesome, awesome March. And Virginia Tech continues to look to rewrite the record books and rewrite what people may think about this school. So keep on keeping on. Looking forward to it. And we will chat soon. If you are on podcast, stick around. The Olivia Sumil interview will come on right after this. If you are not, I will link it right somewhere over here. So take care, everybody.